PDS TV, the best in edutainment.
I would like to welcome everyone here joining us on this lovely day. We are ecstatic to have all of you here. We have been working really hard to make this a place for our parents and family to come and gather, and our district staff and school staff to know that they have the support from the district parent and family engagement department to help them increase family engagement with meaningful engagement. So we're happy to have you. My name is Moname Malathip. I serve as the Executive Director for Student Advancement. Within Student Advancement, we have 3 departments, and one of the department is the District Parent and Family Engagement Department. So I know that you'll get to meet the team very soon, Ms. Marcia Coward, but I want to make some acknowledgments as well. If you look in your program there, we have Dr. Knox Phillips, who's Associate Superintendent, earmarked for the acknowledgement, but he's not here. He is my boss, and he sends his regard. He's super excited about the grand opening, but there's been some family matter that he has to tend to, so he's just torn. But I pass out a photo of his with my colleagues, so I know they should be putting his picture up, you know, this little 8x10 headshot, just so that he's here and present with us. But I want to make some acknowledgments for some community members, community collaboration partners, because without partners, we can't do everything that we want to do. So first, I would like to recognize DeKalb Kids Project Incorporated. If you're here, raise your hand so we can see you, okay? We also have the United Way of Greater Atlanta represented here. We have, yay, we have the Georgia Piedmont Technical College here as well representing, yay. MALDEF is here representing, yay, right there. I think we have State Farm here representing, or with a representative, CA. I'm sure there are others that are here. I'm going to call out all of our community collaborators. The UGA Extension, if you're here. Imagine Learning. Kaiser Permanente. Atlanta Food Bank. Kids Doc on Wheels. And our friends at Sam's Wholesale Club. We love Sam's. We also want to acknowledge and thank our event sponsors, CareSource and ABC Book Company. You'll get to hear a lot of other acknowledgments throughout our program, but we'll get you inside. Please try to stay cool. You can fan. But before I bring up Marcia Coward, let me say a couple things about this lady here. Come on up. You know this lady right here? This lady right here has been a one-woman show for a very long time. Yeah. The face of family engagement, from externally working for our parents outside of DeKalb County School District, but as a DeKalb parent, advocating for them, and then she came over to this side of the house and doing the same thing, even bigger and better, and with the support of our superintendent and our board, and making family engagement a priority here in our district. She is a bulldog in so many ways. And wait a minute, they laugh, or the team laughs because they know what I'm talking about, right? Because sometimes you have to be that loud voice. You have to be that advocate. You have to bang on the dishes and the pots to say, hey, you know what? This is important. This is a priority. We have to do this. And she is that person. She works, I don't even know her hours because she's not a morning person, but she comes in the morning sometimes. I schedule those meetings intentionally just trying to make sure she gets here sometimes. But she works nonstop. And I know that her and her team have been working endlessly day after day to get this hub ready to reveal for you all. But this is a strong woman right here. And she always says this is kingdom work.
Yeah.
Okay? This is a calling. This is something you have to be passionate about deep down here and deep in there. Because it's hard work. And this is the person that I lean on often to remind me as well that we have to continue to do this and we have to continue to fight and advocate for this. So Ms. Marcia Coward, our new manager for District Parent and Family Engagement. Please give her a big round of applause.
Thank you, thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's quite warm, isn't it? A warm good afternoon to everybody. I promise I won't keep you in the sun because I know that the Tucker culinary team, our students are here and they have prepared some wonderful food for us, so I want to make sure that we get there. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about what's going on behind these doors. Tamisha Favors is one of our facilitators, and you'll get to meet them in a little while. But every time we sit and we start to talk about the work that we do for our families, it always ends up where it's like we're having church. And when we talked about having a district level center, because for 5 years we've been working with Title I, and those of you principals and staff members that are out there know that Title I is not a purse, it's a ironclad safe, so there's a lot of things that we can't do. So as we talked about what we needed to do for our parents, the wraparound services, all of those other things that Title I couldn't do, we wanted to figure out what was the best thing to do. And we're sitting around a table, I think we're at a conference, and Tamisha says, I know what that needs to be. It needs to be called the Impact Hub, because that's what we do every day is impact the lives of our parents so that we can help their children with student achievement. So Tamisha, I wanted to make sure that I acknowledged you because you're always so creative and we never get to what that is. So I'm just going to read this because they told me that I'm scripted, so I don't talk all day. The Family Impact Hub allows DCSD to expand the scope and scale of the work for our parents and families and bridges the gap between parents and the district resources. The word impact stands for involving and motivating parents to be active contributors over time. And that is significant because we toyed with whether or not it needed to be active contributors of time, and we agreed that it needed to be over time because all of our parents are not created equal. And training them over time, they will become those active contributors. So with that, the idea of the work that's coming from the Impact Hub, the model is comprised of 5 areas. The first area is our student achievement, which is where our Title I component falls. That's where the restriction of the academic workshops and Title I compliance and ESSA compliance resides. And we have 6 centers that supports that in the communities. Then there's the parent leadership and advocacy training. That's the second component. And that's where we're going to teach our parents how to be leaders. How do we get our parents ready to serve on your school councils? How do we get our parents to be ready to take over PTA? And how do we get our parents ready to advocate for their children? And then we're talking about a positive learning climate and volunteerism. How many of you principals, other staff members know that we officially have a volunteer plan working in place now for all of our schools? Pam, you've got work to do. Okay? So with that, we're going to be doing a lot of the training for our volunteers so they know when they come into our schools, they're not responsible for taking over a teacher's classroom. And they're not responsible for going in and trying to educate our children because that belongs to the principal and the teachers. And along with that, we have an initiative where we are going to be working with our schools to be family friendly. Because that's one of the biggest complaints that we have from our parents, that they don't feel welcome in our schools. And I know it's not intentional. And I know that there's work that we can do, But as you will see this evening, a lot of our schools are already there. And we want to celebrate those schools and then the schools that we need to work with to get there, because at the end of the day, we want 100% of our schools to be family friendly, because that's where we're going to get that support that we need and bridge that gap between the home and the school. The other grouping is for our parents' personal and professional growth. And again, that's another exciting piece that you'll hear about tonight, because we are helping our parents get their GEDs. And that's a phenomenal story that you will hear about tonight. And last but not least is our parent and family wraparound services. We talk about wraparound services for our children, but what about our parents? Show me a struggling child, and I'll tell you that they're coming from a struggling home. So if we help the whole child, guess what? Everybody will be better all the way around. So without further ado, I would like to introduce the team. Guys, would you like to come forward, please? I know they're sweating. They've been working for 2 days. You know, when I get into this mode, they're like, okay, how late are you gonna stay? Until the work gets done, and they stay with me. So we will start with Ms. Pam Mathis. Pam is going to be managing our volunteerism and family-friendly schools program. Demetria Perkett Brown, who's been around for a while, she's now Region 6, and she manages a family engagement center that sits right now at Columbia, but the work that they're doing, they're moving from school to school, so they're not necessarily sitting in any one school, because they're doing the work of Title I. And Helica Rosso, she's our Region 1 facilitator, and her center is located at Kruskes High School. She's got some fans over there. I see her principal. LaTanya is one of our district liaisons, and she's going to be managing our parent leadership and advocacy training. We stole her from Atlanta. Cleveland Dollison manages the Parent Center in Region 2, and they're currently located at Tucker High School. But again, they're not going to be in that building. They're going to be out making sure that the schools that they manage, because they have the entire region, is working well. Then we have Richard Stevens. Richard is new to us as well. He's a district level liaison, and he will be managing our parent and family wraparound services. I see Joseph Binford. Joseph is in Region 3 and 4. So does that tell you that there's a lot that's packed into Joseph, because he's managing 2 regions? And Tamisha Favors, Region 5. And then we have Annette Ford. She's not here just yet. She's going to be on her way shortly, because she's doing a workshop over at Cedar Grove Middle School, and she's Region 7, and that's where she resides. And then we have Narva Dunlap, and Narva manages the the parents' professional growth and development, and that's where the GED program resides. Thank you, guys. This is a long time coming, and it would not have been possible without all of your hard work. Okay, it's my pleasure to introduce our superintendent. I'm not gonna tell you all the wonderful things about him. I just know that I am so thankful that we have a superintendent that on day 1 was supportive of family engagement and the work that we're doing to support our families. Because I can tell you, I have been to districts across this country, and every time I sit and I talk about the work of family engagement in DeKalb County, they're like, you do what for your families, and you have what money? Thank you, Superintendent R. Stephen Green. If you would come and say a few words, I'd appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Let's give Marcia Coward, let's give her a big round of applause. She is awesome and an anchor of our work that we do. I just want to stop by and just say congratulations on this next big step. You know, our theme for this year is soaring to new heights, no limits to learning. But obviously, you know, family engagement matters in DeKalb County School District, and we put our money and our resources where our mouth is. And as you can see, this expansion, and that's what I'm referring to, an expansion of the scope and scale and the depth of family engagement, reaching way beyond just certainly when we want to support the student, but parents and grandparents. Now the members of any grandparents here, Grand Affair, look at them right here, Grand Affair. And so of all the things that you're doing with regard to the workforce development, the Leadership Academy, the health ambassador training that you're doing, the friendly school support, and now the awards program that we're going to recognize here today, and then the GED component, the new dimension that's been added. And let me just talk to you a little bit about a lady you're going to hear from, but I was reading about her on our internet. Just go to the website. You'll see a story about a young lady by the name of Katrina Parker who's here today. And she gives this department and the experience that she's had, she said, has changed her life, changed her whole life. And she talked about in the article, and I challenge each of you to go read that article, because if that doesn't inspire you, then something's wrong with you. Because she talks about, she now studies with her kids. You know, they're at Miller Grove High School. She's there studying with them. She's inspired by them. She said, my head hurts and I like it. Because I'm thinking about stuff. I'm thinking about new ideas. I'm challenged academically. And this is when she said, I made some bad decisions before, but I've got it turned out and turned around. She says, it's never too late. You're never too old. It is, and here she is, a parent, gone back to school, on the verge right now, getting ready to get her GED. This is another dimension that family as engagement has added. So you want to talk about economic development? This is economic development. We're getting a workforce, now generations, ready to go into the workforce and be positive and productive, contributing members. So I applaud the hub here, and the expansion and the depth, and I pledge and will continue my unrelenting support of what you're doing. I'm about outcomes. And if you're having an impact, you're going to get an investment. So you're going to hear more and more about what family and parent engagement is doing as we reach deeper and deeper into the community, pulling more partners, raise up more students, raise up more parents, raise up more grandparents, and make sure that they are supported in the way they need to be supported to do what they need to do on behalf of their families. And this is intergenerational now. So as we continue our support, and I want to announce too, I know that later on there's going to be something in the program special, but I want to express my firm appreciation for Dr. Joyce Morley, who's been a strong voice and a strong advocate and a strong champion for parent engagement. And I've linked into her legacy and want to make sure that it continues in DeKalb. No one will ever be able to say that family and parent engagement is not important and is not invested in the DeKalb County School District as long as we're here. Thank you so very much.
Okay, now it's time for those wonderful awards. Now we're keeping this short, and I apologize, we're not telling you what these wonderful people have done. So I'll just kind of summarize the things that I've read. The individuals who are being celebrated here tonight, they have worked in our schools tirelessly, and they have given over 100 hours of support to our schools. There are also some community supports that we have received from family engagement, both at the school level and at the district level. And I cannot begin to tell you what that support looks like and feels like. There are days when they're here all day, like they work 8 hours, and they don't complain and they don't get a check. So, Pam, I'd like for you to recognize these individuals.
Hello, I'm Pamela Mathis. It is my pleasure to present our Impact Award recipients. The recipients of this award are being recognized as the 2018 Impact Champions. The award recognizes individuals or teams who've made significant contributions that impact the work and the mission of the Parent and Family Engagement Department. They have spent countless hours volunteering in our school, advocating for change, and supporting our families. Our first recipient for school volunteer is Sir Ellison.
Here you go, sir.
Mrs. Rita Glasser. Okay. Ms. Cooper. Ms. Cardonia. Ms. Breathwaite. Did I pronounce that correctly? Ms. Quinn Brantley. And this is my favorite group. The Cedar Grove Elementary Grandparents Club. Come on up. Woo, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so very much.
Oh, that's all right. We good? Oh, yeah, all right. How you doing? All right. Hey, how you doing? All right. Good to see you all. Cedar Grove. All right. Hey, thank you. Oh, sorry.
And if I may say a few words about this group right here.
Yes.
They are off the chain. They came for volunteer training and they wouldn't leave. I wanted to go away and they were like, this is really, really good. They just wanted to know, where do I pay my $41? My $41 so I can go read to those babies. So those who are saying that they don't want to volunteer because of the $41, tell them to come talk to these retired ladies who are on a fixed income and are in Cedar Grove cluster every day of the week. Okay, so let's take a picture over here. Oh, in front of the ribbon. Can we all fit there?
Yes, we can
Okay.
okay. In front of the ribbon.
The short ones first. Go ahead.
Okay.
In front of the ribbon. She said. Go ahead. Okay. Picture.
Get you right in front of the ribbon. In front? Right here? Yeah. Oh, you're good. Come on.
Because this is the school.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, I would also like to introduce to you the district champions. Miss Deidre Pierce, please come forward. You want me to wait? No. Okay, I'm holding on.
Lord, you'll need to stop this. Should have known better than go to the back. Make sure you get an hours.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, we're going to go back and talk about our district champions again. Miss Deidre Pierce. Miss Abdullah. Samya.
Don't have me start crying and everything up in here.
We got you.
And our very own Dr. Tinsley.
We Got you.
Yes, you did.
So these individuals, especially Dr. Tinsley, she had not a clue. But when you have champions, you have to make sure that you appreciate them. So we're appreciating her for all of her work behind the scenes to get us what we need and to help get us to where we are. I can't say enough about Deidre Pierce, because the gray hairs on her head, don't let it fool you. She's been advocating and helping and supporting since then, okay? And then Miss Samia Abdullah. I have learned so much about this community, especially our Clarkston community. I remember when I first came on board, she said, okay, it's time for us to go on a field trip. And I get up in my suit and I'm ready to go. She says, no, you need to put on some sneakers, back off that jacket. You might want to put on a t-shirt because we're going into the complexes, right? And that's where we really got to understand the plight of our parents and also how do we support them. So thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Picture.
And don't get it back.
Oh, in front of.
Go in front of the ribbon. Right here.
In front of. We didn't cut the ribbon yet.
Okay. Our next Impact Award recipients will be from our family-friendly schools. The recipients of this award are being recognized as the 2018 DeKalb County School District Family-Friendly Schools by the Department of Family Engagement that's a part of the Office of Accountability. We have selected these schools because they exhibit strong partnerships with families, improve student achievement through high customer service, an inviting and easy to navigate environment, positive school climate, and a courteous staff. It is my pleasure to present Cross Keys High School. DeKalb Path Academy. Clarkston High School. Columbia Middle School. Dresden Elementary School. All Good Elementary School. Huntley Hills Elementary School. Cedar Grove High School. Druid Hills Middle School.
Congratulations.
Go down to the right.
Arabia Mountain High School.
High school.
Congratulations.
Chapel Hill Middle School.
Congratulations.
Druid Hills? Yes, ma'am. There you go. Congratulations.
Barack Obama Elementary Magnet School.
Mountain High School.
Flat Shoals Elementary School.
Chapel Hill Middle. Congratulations.
DeKalb Elementary School of the Arts. Thank you.
Shoals Elementary. Congratulations.
DeKalb Elementary School.
DeKalb Elementary.
Yes, sir.
Yay! Congratulations. Okay. Are they going to do their picture right there?
Here comes Dr. Morley. Why don't we get Dr. Morley in this? We can. on, Dr. Morley. Come on now, photo op. Yeah, we wait for you. All right.
I know where I am.
Come on, get in, girl. Do you see everybody? Oh.
It's our Pam.
Oh, yeah, you can't hide back there.
She's the
good
shortest
catch.
one.
Yeah, you get right in front, right with Dr. Morris. All right.
Thank you all so much. And for those of you, of the other principals that are here and the regionals that are here, know that this is going to continue. We are actually going to be going out to our schools and doing an assessment with our parents and asking them the questions about how friendly are your schools? And it's not just about the staff being nice, it's about the environment. How do you have a school that is 100%, I hope I don't say the wrong thing, Latino, and there's nobody in the front office that speaks the language? Let's think about those things. The signs that we have. When you have a sign that says, "Do not enter," could we do that a little bit more friendly? When you have a school that there are no parking spaces for visitors, is that family friendly? So we have some things that we need to work on. But I know my team is ready to help our schools be better, because at the end of the day, we're all in this together so that our families feel appreciated and feel like they're a part of our school. So this is not a beat up on you, and I hope Dr. Green allows me to do this. But after we work with our principals and meet with our principals and talk about what a family-friendly school needs to look like, that we can at some point post your score in the front office. Just like how you go to a restaurant. And you go to the restaurants who are 90 and above, and then you frown on the ones that are 55. Let's see how good that's going to look in your front office, okay? So I think we're going to have some fun with it, but at the end of the day, it's just going to prove that we're all working for a better DeKalb, okay? So thanks again, and congratulations to all of you who won. We're on the job, and come the end of the semester, we will be doing this again to recognize some other schools that we know are family friendly. So, this is the part of the evening that you've all been waiting for. Well, I don't know about you, but I know about me, because this is some exciting stuff. Narva Dunlap, would you come to the podium, please? If you all think I have energy, this young lady, I went to Flat Rock last year, and I thought, let me just show up for a minute, because she's probably going to have 20 men, because she had a dad's event. And I got there at, I want to say 7:30, 7:45. It started at 8. And there were men coming from everywhere, and there was nowhere to park at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what's going on? And I went into the cafeteria, and it was full. Dads, not moms, dads. A couple of months later, same thing happened. I went earlier, but it was the moms that showed up that day. And I said, I've got to have her on our team. So district-wide, we can have this kind of show out for all of our schools. So she's gonna help us understand how to do that well for all of our schools. But Narva works with the GED program, so I'm gonna let her have this mic, because pull out the tissue. Okay. Okay.
Good afternoon to Dr. Green, Dr. Morley, senior cabinet staff, other district staff, parents, community collaborators, and special guests. On behalf of the Department of Parent and Family Engagement, it is indeed a pleasure to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of the DeKalb County School District Adult Education Support Program, with a very special highlight on the GED opportunities for our parents. The GED Support Program is offered to parents with additional support such as test prep classes, tutorials, online practice, and practice readiness tests. We launched an adult education pilot program this summer with 20 DeKalb County School District parents. The success stories that have developed as a result of this program are outstanding. In addition to the summer classes, we are excited to continue this program for the fall session with currently over 370 parents that have already RSVP'd online in the adult education program. We are looking forward to this program. And yes, I said over 370 of our DeKalb County School District parents have already RSVP'd. What will we do? What will we do? We're going to be, yes, what will we do? Miss Johnson, would you please stand? Miss Johnson. Please join me in giving Miss Johnson a hand. Miss Johnson is a retired educator and former Technical College GED instructor. We would like to thank you, Ms. Johnson, for your service, your math expertise, and dedication to our parents by empowering and building those relationships. I must say this could not be possible without the overwhelming support and leadership of Ms. Coward, our Family Engagement Program Manager, Ms. Moname, just a phone call away, always available, always available. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We hoped our parents were ready, and they were. They met the challenge. Hope, H-O-P-E, hoping our parents were ready to enroll in college, to get a finer job, to better their family. We are committed to helping our parents excel in education, workforce advancement, and family efficacy. At this time, a true testimony, I would like to introduce one of our parents. I see others. I would like to introduce one of our parents who I think can well represent so many of our parents who were part of our summer pilot program. At this time, I would like to introduce Ms. Katrina Parker, if you would come up, who is one of our very committed and dedicated parents from our pilot GED support program. Ms. Parker.
Good evening. Good evening. It is an honor and a pleasure to be in front of you guys. My name is Katrina Parker. I have 4 children. One daughter that is a senior at Miller Grove High School, thanks to the DeKalb County school system. In the adult education program, I found a renewed interest in education, a sense of purpose, an inner source of empowerment. When this happened, it changed my whole outlook on life.
It's okay. It's okay, Katrina.
I found out about this program through a messenger, through the email, keeping up with my daughter and her grades. And I said, and we're getting ready to graduate, that I would go back to school. I've always had the title of a wife and a mother, a sister, an aunt and a cousin and a friend, but I knew it was something more for me out there. I've always wanted to go back and finish school. I was a teen mom. I had to drop out because I got pregnant in the 11th grade. So I put my child first, and I put myself on the back burner. I thank God for Ms. Dunlap, for Ms. Marcia. I thank God for Ms. Johnson. I started out on a 6th grade level. And in almost 4 months, I'm almost at a 12th grade level. I'm standing here today because I was given another chance. It's not because I didn't do things wrong. It's not because I was meant to, I know I was meant to do something, but I didn't know what it was. I had a lot of trials. I'm originally from Alabama. My husband's job moved us here a year and a half ago. And come to find out, we can't go back to Alabama because his job is the job there shut down. So now I'm stuck here in Georgia and I love it. I would never leave. I just thank God for this opportunity because I didn't have, my self-esteem was very low before this program. I didn't have any outlook of what I was gonna do later on. I'm standing here now, 40 years old, and I'm fixing to get my GED. And I just wanna thank everybody who's took the time out. When I call them, they answer the phone. If they can't answer, they call me back. They spend hours with me, and sometimes I get it, and then I come back and I don't have it, and I get frustrated. But I thank God for them because if it had not been for this program, I wouldn't be standing in front of y'all today. So I encourage any parent that has not did it, now is the time. The time is now. I'm a young female, and I know my story is not over. This is just the beginning. Sometimes I stay up to 2 o'clock in the morning studying. My husband said, "Are you gonna go to sleep anytime tonight?" But I learn something new every day. So it's a blessing. Miss Dunlap, Miss Johnson, Ms. Cowell have always been patient and provided support, assistance, and encouragement during my tutoring sessions each week. I consider DCSD staff and fellow students to be my extended family. Without them in this program, I don't know where I'd be. We call each other up when we don't see each other because we started this together and I want us to end it together. I'm so thankful for this program. It has really inspired me. After attaining my GED, I plan to continue my college education to become a counselor for at-risk youth children. I've gained a new sense of driving life overall as a result of this GED program. I'm constantly reminded that 10 years prior, my own education was not my priority. But now I am empowered to do more and be more. Now I know I can do anything I set my mind to, and I can be anything. My story has just begun, and I don't know what no is anymore. There's no such thing as I can't, because I can. My kids and my husband are so proud of me, and now I'm proud of myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Parker. And to the other GED parents in the support program that are in attendance, we are very proud of you as well. Give them a round of applause. Dr. Green, Dr. Morley, Dr. Tinsley, Ms. Monterey, Ms. Coward, and Ms. Johnson, if you would join me at the podium, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a defining moment for us in DeKalb County School District. I would like to present to you at this time our first parent of a GED recipient. It is an esteemed honor that I ask you to join me and join us in congratulating Miss Akima Carthen, a parent of a student at Stevenson Middle School, for obtaining her general education diploma. We commend Ms. Carthen for her achievements and look forward to her soaring to greater heights as she continues her educational journey at Georgia Piedmont Technical College and in her various career endeavors. She prides herself on being the best example and role model as a parent. This is a phenomenal chapter in Ms. Carthorne's success story in life. Ms. Carthorne's State of Georgia Technical College System of Georgia diploma reads, the State of Georgia, in concurrence with the State Board of Technical College System of Georgia, and in recognition for the full fulfillment of the requirements for the high school equivalency credential, confer this GED diploma to Sakima L. Carthon, in which whereof this diploma is awarded by the Commissioner and Assistant Commissioner of the Technical College System of Georgia, Beverly Smith, Assistant Commissioner, Matt Arthur, Commissioner. Please join me again in congratulating one of our very own. I need all of her gifts. Yes. At this time, we would like to present some very special gifts, and as we recognize a very empowered, I am an empowered DeKalb County School District parent. Wouldn't you agree that she is just that? We also have a graduation scrap collection of all the memories, and it has been a journey. We're talking to Ms. Carthon. She said, it's been many, many years, but God is good all the time. This, and if she doesn't mind me sharing, was the 8th time that she had taken one of the content areas, but this time she passed. She passed all 4 content areas, and she has her GED. She is going to continue her education at Georgia Piedmont Technical College. Thank you so much, Ms. Hamilton, for all of your support and being here today on behalf of Georgia Piedmont Technical College. Again, thank you, congratulations, and we are so proud of you. If you would come over in front of the hub, and don't, because gift cards in there, don't waste that stuff over. Oh. In front.
Okay, guys, we're getting there, but did I not tell you to take out the tissue? I have listened to that story at least 15 times, and I've never, ever listened to that young lady talk about how appreciative she is and not cry. But Katrina is the trophy for me for the work that we do. Did I not say it's kingdom work? That's kingdom work. Okay, so without further ado, I'm not going to keep you in the sun anymore because I want to get to that food as well. I would like to invite Dr. Joyce Morley to the podium to give us some remarks. Dr. Morley has been a true champion of family engagement, and I'd love to hear her talk about family engagement.
Good afternoon. I was trying to get in the shadows back over here because it is hot. I had a wrap and I see that I don't need it. I'm already wrapped in all this love and excitement. Thank you all for coming. You know, when the governor called me back in 2013 and offered me to be on this board, I had just gotten off a plane in New York City celebrating my birthday. And my phone started blowing up, and everybody was saying, "You didn't see the news? You didn't see the news?" I said, "I couldn't see the news. I was on a plane." So then the governor called, Governor DeKalb called, the attorney called, the secretary called, and they said, "Can you make it here for the swearing-in ceremony tonight?" I said, "If you all going to put me on a Learjet and fly me back, I can, but it's going to have to wait until I get back because I'm on a journey here." And I remember asking God, "Lord, what is this?" You know, I was minding my own business, doing what I wanted to do. I've always been a staunch educator. I came from a family of educators. I'm the youngest of 14 children. And all of us, if we didn't have a high school diploma, we have a college degree. I have 3 daughters who are Spelman graduates, and they all have PhDs. And my thing is that you must have an education. And I also think at some point that everybody should have one, but everybody doesn't necessarily want one. And I tell people, it's not so much the education that you have as what you do with it. And I can't guarantee you anything, but one thing about it, if you have an education, you can get your foot in the door and they can't slam the door on your foot. It actually guarantees you some semblance of respect. And many times we look around, we don't realize that there are many people who have not been afforded the opportunity, such as Mrs. Parker, who had a child and dropped out. So I asked God, what do you want me to do on this board? What are the things you want me to be able to be a part of? And one of the things he said was family engagement. To engage the parents, engage the family. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, nationally recognized. I'm a supervisor of marriage and family therapy. I'm a systems therapist. So I know that I cannot affect change in a child when I work with them unless I have a parent involved. And too many times what we try to do in education is to educate the child devoid of the parent being a part of that. And it's like going to the doctor. If you go to the doctor with a headache, the doctor never cuts your head off and take it in the treatment room and then leave your body out in the waiting room. The entire system has to be treated. And one of the things that we've been remiss in public education is treating the entire system. So I have been on this road for a GED program in the DeKalb County School District ever since I've been on this board since 2013. And I wasn't going to stop. I've been relentless. Because my thing is, if a child can see his or her parent also going for the same thing he or she is going for, that education is a streamline within the family. What a motivation. What a motivation for that child to be able to see that not only am I studying, not only am I learning, but look at my mom, look at my dad, and they had the fortitude and the wherewith and the motivation to go back and get theirs. And they're doing this journey together. You know, one of the things that we can look at when we look at crime, we can equate crime with education. The lower the level of education, the greater the crime. And we hear about white-collar crimes and all those. You know, when they're doing their crime, they take time. They met it all out. They count every pace. They do everything they can. They watch their watches for days and months and sometimes years to get it right. And those who have less education, they get up one morning and decide they don't want to rob a bank. They want to do something right away. It's an instant fix. But an uneducated society is a society that's actually set up to fail. So my thing was, let's get the parents involved in this. Because no matter what they do and how we do it, unless everybody in that household has some modicum of education, it's not going to work. What made me successful as an educator, I've worked with every grade level, from 1st through 12th. Former elementary teacher, I'm a former school counselor, a dean of students, a curriculum specialist, and I've taught at the post-secondary level. What made me successful is I met every parent where he or she was, no matter how they came in, if they had on flip-flaps, if they had on red bottoms, no bottoms, they had a rag on their head, or they came there with nothing. And I respected them. And to have this GED program, to have the first graduate is to say that we respect you, that you are so important as parents, because if we don't have parents, we don't have children. And we've got to begin to look at how we treat our parents when they come into the school. You don't look down on anybody unless you're about to help pick them up. Because guess what? And I say to parents, now sometimes parents call me and they're all upset, and I say to them, don't go to that school with that cussing and fussing. I need you to go in there respecting, but the same way that they come in respecting, I need to have the educators within the school respecting them. Every parent should be treated as if they are the ultimate king and queen, because you have their prince and princess in the schools. And so we've got to learn how to treat our parents. We've got to let them know that they are valued and not devalued, that we appreciate them, because without them, there would be no children. And it might not be a biological parent. It might be a surrogate parent. No matter who it is, we need to be able to give them an opportunity to be able to fit in and contribute to this economic society. They cannot do it without an education. So I want to give Ms. Parker another hand, give our graduate another hand. And I must say, with Dr. Tinsley, Monterey, Marcia, everybody in that department, and they know it's been hours and hours of talking about the family engagement program, bringing parents together, the centers, so parents can actually come in and feel as if they're part of what's going on. And I just told the superintendent, that little measly budget will not do. It's not going to do. Now, if you all ever watch me, I am relentless. And I say all the times, I don't talk out the side of my neck. My conversation comes straight from my mouth. And I put my money where my mouth is. I do my research. If we're going to do it well. We can be the precursors of all the things that are great and grand in the DeKalb County school system. So aside from family engagement, the GED program, the other one is mental health. I am so on that, and I don't care, no matter what we do and how we do it, we're going to have to do something to ramp up the training for every staff member in the DeKalb County School District to have training in mental health, awareness, understanding. And how do you be able? We've had some incidences here last week. No child should ever have to come to school, or no parent, and be depressed. The average parent is having difficulty because he or she is depressed, and if they're depressed in that household and that child has to see it every day, then that child actually also is going to be a product of depression. And so it's time for us to do the things that need to be done. It's time for the community to stand up. It's time for us to have a family engagement center in every school within this district. I'm not going to be on this board forever and a day. But the bottom line comes down that we want to be able to have the AJC and all of the newspapers and all of the TV stations, that when they come out, they're not looking at what's going wrong with the DeKalb County School District. They can say, here's what's going right. And I like to say, where are they today? Because this is an auspicious occasion. This is an occasion, you talk about motivation, you talk about inspiration, you talk about all the things that we're doing here. It's all about education. It's all about the people. There's an African proverb that say you can call on gold, gold won't answer. Call on clothes, clothes won't answer. But it's all about the people. How do we treat each other? So it's not just the GED graduates and those enrolling. It's the staff. It's the people. I visited almost 13 schools in the last couple of weeks. I still have a few more to go. The custodial staff, the maintenance staff, the cooks and people in the cafeteria. We got pictures all over together. I met Mr. Keys over at Miller Grove Middle School. He has the keys to every door in the building. So we call him Mr. Keys. But it's showing people from the top to the bottom, every teacher, every counselor. And we've got to do something to get more counselors in these schools. Our children are depressed. And you all have heard me, and I said many times, it's like I'm a scratch record. Y'all remember the 45 RPMs and the 33 LPs and all that? Sometimes I feel like the needle, and I feel like a scratch record, but I'm going to keep on if the record has to break until we have what we need to do. And we need to get it right. It's time to be out saying that's the way we've always done it. Wrong and broken, that doesn't mean that's the way you got to keep on doing it. So I am so glad that you all are here. For the GED program, for the family engagement, and we can engage, but you have to have people involved. And you have to give them permission to be able to say that they belong. And we've got to make sure that we're paying people right and treating people right. But you know, our first customers are not just the people who are part of this family engagement. 'Cause we can't treat the parents right and treat the children right until we treat each other right. How are we treating each other every day in our offices? So we must be a reflection of what we're putting out. But I am so pleased. I am so proud. This is like a birth of a baby for me. And I became emotional a little while ago to see this come to fruition. And when God said, here are the things I want you to do on this board, believe me, and I'm not here to preach because I'm not a preacher. My pulpit is not one in the public. But reality is that when we honor and ask him what we need to do, he'll put it there and make a way. And I'm seeing all this come true right in front of me. The GED program, the family engagement, the centers. We're going to work on mental health. We're going to keep people paid. We're going to do what we need to do. DeKalb County should be rising to the top like cream. It should be first and foremost setting precedents in all that we do, saying that we are about children and families. We're interconnected, interrelated. And if there's a break in that link, in that chain, we know what happens. Something is going to not go right. I thank you all for coming out. The sun is getting a little hot. I don't need a tan. And so I'm going to have to step back out of this. But thank you all. Thank you to the staff. Thanks everyone. Dr. Green. And we're going to be on Dr. Green to make sure he comes up with more money. I've already told him. But I thank you all so much. To the students enrolled in the GED program, Ms. Park, I want to say something to her. She wants to be a counselor. The National Board Certified Counselors Foundation gives minority fellowships for master's degree, and we give $20,000 for doctorate degrees in counseling to minorities. So when she's ready, I will put her in contact with the right people because she has a story. There's so many organizations around because when you have a story, your story leads to the glory. But she had to go to the test in order to be able to do her best in order to have that testimony today. Thank you all.
Before you go, Monoman.
Dr. Morley. This is a surprise for her. I see her face. We cannot go today without acknowledging Dr. Morley and her advocacy for family and parent engagement at all. Every time we speak about parent and family engagement and the vision that we have and what we're trying to accomplish, her name comes up. Every conversation that we have, her name comes up because we know she's speaking on our behalf in the work that we do. And we just want to show our appreciation with this nice, little heavy trophy here. I'm going to read this so everyone can see. It's the Impact Award presented to Dr. Joyce Morley in grateful appreciation for your unwavering support for parent and family engagement. Thank you so much. All right, so ribbon cutting.
Okay, we're there. We're there. Dr. Green, we're there. Come on. It's time for the official ribbon cutting. Okay. On three. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3. Yay! We are officially open. Ladies, if you would open the doors to the hub.